we have a heartwarming story about celebrating life, health, and longevity. The Cardiology Associates of Morristown hosted their Noble 90's event, honoring more than 100 patients who are 90 years or older. We are joined today in studio by two special guests, Dr. David Freilich, a cardiologist at Cardiology Associates of Morristown, and one of his patients, Hubert Hugh Hauck, who's 96 years young. Welcome, both of you. We're delighted to have you.
Thank you.
So, Dr. Freilich, let's start with you. The Noble 90's event sounds like a wonderful celebration. So tell us more about it and why it's so important to your practice.
So we're cardiologists, and people are living longer and healthier lives due to many of the things we do in cardiology. But the origin for the concept came to me when my mother was about 1 month away from her 90th birthday. So I asked my office manager to tabulate the number of patients who were 90 and above at that point, and I was surprised. It was 350 patients.
Wow.
So this was back in 2018. And so we did it in 2018. We had this celebration in 2019, but then the pandemic occurred in 2020, so we couldn't do it any longer. We had a hiatus of 4 years, and then we just did it again for the first time in 4 years. And now we're up to 500 patients in our practice who are over age 90, and that's a reflection of some of the work we're doing, but also a reflection of improved longevity in general. You see people living longer and longer. I mean, you take a look at Mel Brooks, he's 98,
oh,
right?
we're big Mel Brooks fans in our
Various
house.
people are living productive lives in their late 90s.
Yes, for sure. And Hugh, I see that you had a reaction to that, to the number of 500 people.
It's astonishing, yes.
It certainly is, and it must be inspiring to be part of such a vibrant community of seniors. So Hugh, you were one of the participants in this event, correct? And can you tell us what it means to you to be able to celebrate in this way?
Well, I have to tell you, one of the most important things is not to think about your age. I don't dwell on it. I don't, only when I'm asked by someone like you what it feels like to be 96 do I wonder about it. But otherwise, I don't think about it at all.
Right, age is only a number, and it's more how you feel.
And, you got to be like a dog. A dog doesn't know how old it is. It just
like that.
Keeps doing stuff until it falls over. And
you've got to be like a dog. Just go with it.
Yeah, exactly.
And Dr. Freilich, what do you think has contributed to the success of patients like you and all the others that you honor at these events?
Well, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, apparently.
I like this theme.
So there are many things that are evolving in cardiology and in society. So I think engagement is very important for people to remain socially connected and socially engaged. So I mentioned my mother. My mother will be 96 next month.
Wonderful.
And she's the most sociable person, as you can attest to. So, social connection is very important. Resilience is very important in terms of being able to adapt, and I think that's part of what you're talking about, not dwelling on the negatives and just focusing on the positives. And there are all these, risk factors for aging and heart disease, like blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes. We have fantastic medicines that didn't exist in the past, and they have fewer and fewer side effects and do contribute to longevity. And then we also have procedures that people can get that are less invasive, specifically in cardiology. So pacemakers, the first pacemakers in the 1960s, you had to carry around a battery pack in a shopping cart.
Wow.
And now the pacemaker is that big and it lasts for 8 or 9 years. So there's been amazing technological improvements. We can now replace people's valves instead of opening their chest, having a very invasive procedure.
Wow.
It can be done through the groin. And instead of open heart surgery, we can do stents through the groin. So you can be in and out in a day if all goes well, as opposed to being in the hospital in the old days for a week or a month. So there's improved technology, less invasive technology, better medications, and not smoking, I think, is obviously critical, and then keeping active and keeping engaged.
Well, it's so great to hear about all the different advances we've made. We no longer have to carry around a a pacemaker in a shopping cart. I know we all have people in our lives who have come up against cardiac issues at one point or another. But besides just acting like a dog and not knowing your age, Hugh, what are some other concrete steps you've taken over your lifetime to ensure that you're staying healthy and active?
Well, I think I thought about it the other day, and I think you can sum it up in 3 words: motion, commotion, and emotion. By motion, I mean you've got to keep moving.
Yeah.
I grew up in the Bahamas, and we have a saying there: you've got to be like a shark. A shark has to keep moving even when it's sleeping,
Yes.
because it has no gills like a normal fish, and if it stops, it dies.
Yes.
So you've got to keep moving. And the second thing is commotion. And commotion means play sports, get excited,
Yeah.
raise hell, do
I like
stuff.
that.
and you know, and the third is emotions. Get mad at things, write letters to the editor.
Oh, I'm super good like that. I'm going to live forever.
And fall in love.
I'm seeing where you're going with
Yeah,
this. You got to
so-
not only keep yourself in motion physically, but mentally and spiritually,
too.
just keep it going.
And what Dr. Freilich raised earlier, I think is the most important thing of all, and that is maintain a active social life with friends and family, and that is, I think, one of the key aspects of living a decent old life. I mean, there's no point growing very, very old just to breathe in and out one more day.
Exactly.
You've got to enjoy it, and having friends. I'm blessed with having good, nice groups of friends, both in Nassau and here.
That's wonderful.
And a family, and that's important, very important.
And it seems we're talking a lot about those social relationships. And Dr. Freilich, how does the doctor-patient relationship factor into your approach at the Cardiology Associates of Morristown?
Yeah. We try to treat our patients as if they're part of our own family, really. It's trite to say that, but I would never give, people ask me sometimes, what would you do if I give them advice to, let's say, have surgery or have a stent? What would you do if it was your family member? And the answer is, I do exactly what I'm doing, because we see our patients as members of our family. We have an obligation professionally, but we've had long-term relationships. I took care of his wife, who passed away about 15 years ago, and we've had a long-term relationship. And you develop a relationship over years. And I'm 66, but I don't want to retire anytime soon, because I'm invested in the relationships I have with my patients, and it's great. And even the younger people in our practice, I think we all share the same philosophy, and that's one of the things that makes it work.
I think that's a wonderful philosophy. Dr. Freilich, thank you for all of the work you're doing with the Morristown Cardiology Associates, and we have loved talking to you this morning as well, Hugh, and giving us so many great pointers. You are a wealth of knowledge, no doubt, and we are grateful you were both with us this morning to share.
Thank you.
Thank you.